Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to Sunya IAS. So we are launching our Anthropology Foundation course for the year 2026 and 2027, and this time we are launching our course in the offline and online mode. For that we are having the free lecture series where now we are taking up the physical anthropology, and we started with the socio-cultural anthropology. There are already some sessions related to the unit 2.1 and 2.2. Now, as we are starting with the unit 9.4, in the previous lecture, we have done some basic parts related to the chromosomes and the chromosomal aberration. So, that chromosomal aberration, it was related to the numerical aberrations as well as some structural aberration part. But now, in today's session, we are going to see some sort of autosomal aberration and the sex chromosomal aberration. So, I will go very slow. If you are having any sort of doubt, let me know your doubt. And comment section is available. Yes, good afternoon. Okay, so now let's start with that. If you have any doubt, you can ask for. Fine. Okay, so as you know already that from the previous lecture that we have started with the syllabus for the unit 9.4. In every single topic, I used to show that there are some sort of topics, and these topics are being assigned by the UPSC. Now, in the same way, unit 9.4 is showing you. Unit 9.4 is showing you the chromosomes and chromosomal aberration. So, you know very well chromosomes, they are nothing but they are the part of the nucleus, and they include the genetic material in the form of a DNA. And whenever we are studying about the genetic material, we are trying to study about one specific part, that is gene. Fine. Now, in the chromosomal aberration in men, we are having some basic part of methodology. So, we started with the numerical and structural aberration, in which we are done with the structural aberration part. So, that structural aberration part, for sure, they were in terms of a disorder. But in the previous class, like the class we did on the structural aberration, it was showing that there are some sort of chromosomal error, and these error, they are in the form of deletion, duplication, in the form of addition, inversion, then translocation. But we haven't studied about the effect that's coming out of these types of aberration. Why? Because we were thinking about that somehow in the process of the DNA replication, in the process of whenever we are facing some sort of DNA repairing or anything, we can encounter that there are some parts which is going to miss, there are some part that is going to duplicate themselves. So that's why they are causing these error. But what's the effect of these error? I mean, in terms of outcome, how you would distinguish a person that's in front of you, that this person is having some chromosomal aberration that's there in the body of that person. So now in today's class, we'll try to understand that if in case there is any minute single chromosomal changes that is not required in your body, how that change would affect. Fine. Okay, so now let's start. Good afternoon, Bulbul. Good afternoon, Arun. That's good. So I hope you have watched the previous lecture, Arun. So let us suppose if you are having any doubt in today's lecture, let me know. Okay. Aji, Arta is saying that I am a beginner in the UPSC. Okay, so Arta, you can just fill up the Google form that's available in the description box. Okay. And I would be helping you out. So then you would be connecting with me. I will help you to create some specific strategy and the way how you can choose your optional. One more thing, I am not very biased or towards the anthropology. Even if you are interested in any another subject, I will help you to create this strategy, how you can decide that you should go for that subject or not. Fine. Okay, now let's start with that. So in today's class, we'll be first analyzing about the sex chromosomal aberration. So one thing I just want to repeat, like we are taking up this sex chromosomal aberration. Fine. So one thing I just want to repeat, and I want you to answer that there are some specific type of chromosomes that are being entrusted with the responsibility to determine the gender. Fine. So you know that in our nucleus, there are 23 pair of chromosomes. Now these 23 pair of chromosomes, they are being categorized into two categories. Okay, so you know already. One more thing from the previous lecture, you know that the shape of the chromosome, like the first chromosome, it is the biggest one. Okay, so the shape for the first chromosome is the biggest one, is the largest, and then it would be reduced a little, and the 23rd chromosome, it is considered as the smallest one. Now, from the first till the 22nd chromosome, these chromosomes, they are considered as the autosomal. I mean, they are named as autosomal chromosome. But this 23rd number chromosome is considered as the sex chromosome, and this is the only chromosome which is responsible for the determination of the gender. Now, one more thing that you know from the previous lecture, that for a female, like now just for the reference, I am considering one chromosome as X. So for the female, their 23rd chromosome, which is specifying their gender, is specified as XX, and for a male, it is specified as X. This is the basic this is the basic specification related to the female as well as the male chromosome, and that's specifying the sex chromosome. So it's only the name just to specify. Fine. Now, in totality, we are having how many? 23 pair. It means these are 46 in number. Now, when I am saying there is sex chromosomal aberration, let us suppose I am saying there is sex chromosomal aberration. In this case, where I can see the change? So the change would be evident where? Only in the 23rd chromosome. It means quite possible there may be addition in the 23rd chromosome, or there may be deletion. So if in case there is addition, then also number is this 46 is going to be more. So quite possible it may be 47, it may be 48, it may be 45. So this one, as it seems to be, this one is 46 in number. This one is the normal and the ideal situation, but 45, 47, 48 would be considered as what? Abnormality, and these are considered as something in terms of aberration, in terms of error, in terms of something which is not required. Another thing you need to understand here, that if the 23rd pair of chromosome, that is the sex chromosome, it is normal and it is in terms of 46 in number, it means it's fine. But let us suppose there is some sort of addition. If there is any sort of addition, it is like there is nothing which can be argued. In case of any sort of unrequired change in the sex chromosome, it will cause that person infertile. So it's going to be against the fertility of that person. So there is no argument, nothing. The result is the person would be infertile. There may be some other conditions, other abnormality that person may face, but the most important thing would be there is the outcome. Outcome for all type of sex chromosomal aberration is infertility. Now, there may be some sort of aberration here in the autosomal chromosome. Again, if there is any sort of changes in autosomal aberration, there is going to be addition. Again 46, maybe 47, maybe 47, maybe 48. So the number in terms of addition or in terms of subtraction, it cannot determine. It cannot analyze, it cannot determine that there is changes in autosomal or in the sex chromosome. It cannot determine. But we have to analyze that which chromosome is being changed here. Let us suppose if there is any change at the autosomal chromosome places, then the fertility for that person would be intact. Why? Because there is no such changes in the sex chromosome. Fine. So maybe quite possible from this explanation you would feel confused, but like hold your emotions here. Like if you have any doubt you can ask for. If not then just wait for that. Now we would be taking up this syndrome one by one and then we'll be studying about it. Fine. Okay. Now let's start. So we are taking up sex chromosomal aberration. So we have understood that for a normal female it should be XX. For a normal male, it should be XY. This is something that you have already studied in your 10th examination. So in the 10th, we were having physical biology. Now biology is becoming the basis for the physical anthropology. Till now, you haven't faced any sort of difficulty regarding any topic, because these all topics in the anthropology you have studied. Even you would be studying for your prelims and you have studied in your 10th or in your 9th NCRTs. Fine. Okay. So now like going deep into some sort of factor. So now let's try to study. Yeah, for sure I am going to bring some sort of a clear chart and common chart on this syndrome so that you will get the clarity. Okay, for sure. And what about the aberration? Okay, so Navya, just first try to understand what first I am going to teach you here. Then on the basis of that I will club all the numerical aberration at one place so that you will get the clarity. Just wait for the end of the class. First I am going to tell you everything, then I am going to summarize all the things in terms of aberration at one place in one diagram and you will get the clarity. So I will I'm not going to tell you the difficult terms in the beginning, like there is neuploidy, there is monosomy, trisomy. No. First I'm going to help you just to understand one by one. Then I will provide you the full-fledged diagram. Okay, just wait for that. Fine. Any other doubt if you have, you can ask for. No? Let me proceed. Okay, now there is one sort of process. Process is basically the reproduction. In the reproduction, what used to happen that there is one gamete formation. The gamete formation, like this thing you know very well in terms of a basic human being, that a child is nothing but it is the product of the two persons, the father as well as the mother. Now father is having, in terms of like autosomes, they are same. Like you are having 22 pair of autosomes, I am also having 22 pair of autosomes. So in terms of the number, in terms of their function as well as requirement, they are same. Same for a male, same for a female. But the 23rd pair of chromosome, it is creating some sort of difference. So therefore, you as a person getting 23 chromosome from father, 23 from mother, and out of that you are creating your pair 46 in terms of number. It means your parents, they are giving you 50-50% in terms of their DNA. Fine. This is something you know. Now, because we are having this type of structure from our parents, therefore their parents' probability is being combined and it is being provided to you. Now it's purely dependent upon the probability that which gamete is going to be choose, and based upon that which gender is going to be. Like, just tell me, have you wondered that the child in the womb and the gender about the child? You must have seen some of the videos on the YouTube shorts or something, that in the foreign country, because their children's sex determination test and all these, they are not being considered as illegal. Therefore child, they can, like in those area, in the foreign countries, they are having the gender reveal party. So you must have been fancified with the different type of ideas, like some are having the different color cake, some are having the different color balloon, gases, these and that. But in India, it is considered as illegal. Now we will be trying to understand how this is going to happen. Fine. Okay, so here there is some sort of process which is called as the gamete formation. So first I just want to show you that there is two persons, one is mother, one is father. So let us suppose, okay, so based upon this circle I am showing you. So there is a basic process in which egg cell and sperm cell, they are going to fuse together, and then based upon that new child, basically in terms of fetus, is being formed. Now this process, let me tell you the basic process, then I'm going to rub this form. So this is, let us suppose, the egg cell, and this is basically the sperm cell. So egg cell and sperm cell. So egg cell is provided by whom? By the mother. Sperm cell by the father. Egg cell and the sperm cell, they are going to fuse together and they will create what? Zygote. Now zygote is nothing but zygote is the formation of the cell. So cell, they are going to divide, cell will multiply. So then there is going to be another cell that are being formed. And these cells, they are like a bunch of the grapes, and these are tightly packed with each other and considered as what? Embryo. And then embryo will form in terms of a fetus. So it will form in terms of a fetus, and then the fetus will form in terms of a child. Now here there are some sort of stages. So when the 3-month gestation period is being completed, we can determine the shape as well as we can determine the gender of that particular fetus. Fine. Now it means what? It means when there is the zygote formation, there is 50% coming from here, 50% coming from here. Now these 4 cells, they are going to multiply themselves, and they are going to multiply themselves at a very fast pace, and then new embryo in terms of a fetus is being created. Therefore here when I am taking the egg cell and the sperm cell, what I just want to specify, this. Understood till now? I am referring the mother with 46 chromosome, referring the father with 46 chromosome. So that's showing the sperm cell, that's showing the egg cell. Understood? Yes or no? Okay, now what you need to do? So what you need to know? So here you just need to understand that there is one sort of process. This process is being called as disjunction. Disjunction means what? Disjunction means now these are being separated. So because there is the fusion of the sperm cell and the egg cell, therefore there is going to be one basic process. How this basic process is going to be determined? Like this is how there is disjunction would happen. So this process is called as what? Disjunction. Now because, okay, so now I am rubbing it out. I hope you must have written it. In the unit 10, that is the human growth and development, we are going to study this with the complete like analysis and with a very much depth. So here I am just giving you the reference. Unit 10 is all about human growth and development. Fine. So just I am rubbing it now. Okay, now what would happen? Here I am going to refer you with different color pen so that you will get the clarity. Here formation is going to be like this is from side of mother, this is from the side of father. Okay, so what would happen? This one and this one. 22x 22. Now this and this. 22x 22. Now this one 22x and 22x. Why? Because in every single circle there is going to be contribution of both. Here 22x, 22y. So let us suppose if there is male egg cell and female female egg cell and male sperm cell. Let us suppose if this is the case, then there are four chances. It's not all about that male they will have 4 children, but they will have 4 chances. Out of the probability, one is being chosen, and that's defining the gender. So just tell me the gender of the A, then the gender of the B, then the gender of the C, and the gender of the D. So the gender for the A is going to be female. Gender for the B is going to be male. Gender for the C again female. And for D again male. It means if everything is normal, if there is disjunction of there is one process where it is being specified that these gamete, they are specified as the oogenesis, this one as oogenesis, this one as spermatogenesis. Why? Based upon the name. Now if this process is happening, so on the basis of this process there is some sort of disjunction. Disjunction is being specified as, so disjunction they are being specified as the division, and how this division is being transformed in this way. Fine. Okay, now here it is being specified that there may be chances of 2 female as well as 2 male. So out of this, one is being chosen, and that's being determining the gender of that particular person. This is what the normal process. Let me write down here. Okay, now let's see if this process is not normal, and you are again going to do that same on your notebook. Fine. So do the same on your notebook. Here again, let's take this one as the female, this one as the male. Again going to be fusion. This process is showing what? Non-disjunction during oogenesis. Okay, non-disjunction during oogenesis. Now, how this non-disjunction it would happen and in what way it's going to be there, we will try to determine. Okay, so the normal process is saying that these should be divided into 2 parts equally. One side in one part, another side in another part. But when there is non-disjunction, disjunction means division. But when there is non-disjunction means division is not proper. So in that case, what would happen? 22, these oogenesis or determining the sex chromosome for a female, they need to be separated. But what happened? They are not separating, and they are again coming into one single tab. And if they are coming into one single tab, then it would remain what? It would remain nothing, means 0. Because it's a process of oogenesis, it means sperm is having no role here, and it would be specified as this. Okay, now another process is going to be completely normal and simple. What would happen? This and this. Let's try to create 22x and 22x. Again 22xx. and 22y. Again 22, it's going to be 0 and it's 22. Then again 22, 0 and 22y. Fine. Now just tell me, in this case, how many chromosomes are there? Okay, you are going to answer me. Just tell me, in this case, how many chromosomes we are having? We are not having 46 here. We are having how many? 47. 47 chromosome in terms of number. Here again 47. Here 45. Here again 45. Okay, now tell me. Numerical aberration means there is some sort of shortage in terms of number. This type of non-disjunction in terms of oogenesis, it is giving us the result that there are some sort of cases, and these cases, they are showing what? Numerical aberration means changes in terms of number, and when number is not adequate, number is not required. Okay, when number is not required. Fine. Now this type of chromosome, just tell me, for a normal female we required what? Double X. When there is triple X, so triple X would be specified as what? Super female syndrome. So I would be naming this as, I should use different color pen, super female syndrome. Fine. Now this one. Again, for a male, I should have XY. Now this person is having this XXY. Having the female syndrome, I mean for a normal female XX is required, so it's having XX as well. For a normal male, it's having XY. So it also include for a normal male. So for a normal female as well as normal male, and it is being added into, and because of the addition, again that person is not going to be normal male as well as not going to be the normal female. But because Y is there, so phenotype means outer structure. So outer structure of the body is going to be similar with the male. But that person is having extra X. It means that person would be showing some sort of female characteristics. So that's how it is being specified. So again here, let's talk about, this is called as what? Klinefelter syndrome. So just write down the name. I would be giving some sort of detail about it. But for now, just write down the detail. Klinefelter syndrome. Fine. Now this one, X. For a normal female, I require XX. For a normal male, XY. Y is not there, so this could not be the case for a male. But X is there, quite possible. Now only female is there. So therefore, because female is there, and that female is also not complete. Why? Because 0. So there is absence of another X. It means this syndrome is called as what? Turner syndrome. Okay, these are the person who have specified about these types of syndrome. Now XX is the default type of chromosome which used to be there. So one X is required at least for the birth of a human being. If one single X is not there, birth cannot be there. It means X0, that person can take birth, can survive as well, but not going to be the normal one. But here in this case, because there is absence of X, therefore it is, this person would be aborted, and it's going to be a stillbirth, means not going to resemble with the human being. Why? Because one X is required. Therefore this is the something in terms of a case specified as non-disjunction during oogenesis. Is it okay? Fine. Now There is another case specified as the non-disjunction of spermatogenesis. So this is what you are going to do, and you are going to tell me how it would proceed. But just write down these names. So I am giving you 30 second ka time. Just write down the name and write down this structure. Then okay, now next you have to create. So next is non-disjunction during spermatogenesis. Okay, so it is spermatogenesis. It means for egg cell there is going to be no change. For sperm cell there may be some sort of non-disjunction. It means XY, they are not able to separate themselves. So they need to be separated, but they are not able to separate themselves. So again I am going to create 4 tabs. So I will only help you for creating this 4 tab. After these 4 basic possibility you are going to create, and then you are going to tell me in the comment section. So try to create it and then tell me. Okay, so I'm giving you 30 second ka time. Tell me the 4 basic possibilities. Okay, now how it is being formed? 22 x and 22 xy. Then this one and this one. 22x and 22 0. Then again 22x and 22xy, and then 22x 22 0. It means this is showing what? The Klinefelter syndrome. This one as Turner syndrome. This one again as Klinefelter syndrome. And again this is as Turner syndrome. So that's how this would happen during the spermatogenesis, and that's how we used to specify them. Fine. Now next case is going to be, I hope this much is easy and you are able to relate with it. Now let me specify the next one, and the next one is being considered as the rarest one as well. So this is being specified as non-disjunction during oogenesis and spermatogenesis. And how it would happen, let's try to find out. So in this case, again, oogenesis is also not able to not able to separate itself, as well as spermatogenesis is also not able to separate itself. So now let's try to find out how it will happen. And now let's try to create some sort of categories. See, you can see some sort of normal cases as well. Here, you can understand that this is specifying as the number of having 48 chromosomes. I mean, this is also possible. So, this is being specified having in terms of 48. And it is specified as extreme Klinefelter syndrome. This is as normal female. Why? Because you can see it's having XX. 0 means 0. And this is considered as a normal male. But they are not going to be as normal as usually other XX and XY cases used to be there when there is disjunction. Fine. And this one case is going to be stillbirth. So, because there is no such chromosome available. Fine. So, from this way, you have understood the basic mechanism. And I hope you have got the clarity that in what way we are having these types of cases. Now, I am going to be little much specific, where we are going to take up these types of syndrome, and based upon this syndrome, we would be explaining about it. Okay. Now, what I am doing is, now starting with the sex chromosomal aberration in a basic detail, where we would be explaining about these type of syndrome. Here, in this way, we have understood practically how these syndromes would arise. And once we have understood about it, now we are going to just try to understand the basic symptoms in such type of syndrome and what's going to be the effect in terms of those person activity. Okay, fine. So now let's try to explain about it. Okay, so specifying about the sex chromosomal aberration. So, sex chromosomal aberration, they are genetic disorder. Why? Because there are some sort of changes in your chromosome. Chromosome is specifying your genetic details. And it is caused by what? It is caused by an abnormal number or structure of what? Sex chromosome X and Y. Fine. So, it is happening where? In case of oogenesis, in case of spermatogenesis. So, which process is responsible for that? There is a normal process where these chromosomes, during the process of reproduction, they need to be separated. But when they are not able to separate, then in that case, this would happen. Fine. Okay. Now, the first one as being specified as the Klinefelter syndrome. Now, you are going to tell me, Klinefelter syndrome, it is the result of which process? Oogenesis or spermatogenesis? So, there is non-disjunction in oogenesis, there is non-disjunction in spermatogenesis. Klinefelter syndrome is the result of which one? So, here let's try to explain. In oogenesis, there is Klinefelter syndrome. Yes, it's coming here. It means non-disjunction during oogenesis is also causing this. Non-disjunction during spermatogenesis is also causing this. So, we can say the process like this Klinefelter syndrome is being identified by what? It is being identified by Harry Klinefelter, and According to him, because there is one Y, it means phenotype, as I told you, if in case there is only one single Y, still the phenotype of that person is going to be similar to the male. Quite possible in terms of characteristics, that person may evident some sort of feminine characteristics, but still phenotype is going to be similar with the male. Fine. So it means these person, they seems to be biologically as male. And when it happened, it used to happen when there is improper separation, means non-disjunction of what? Of sex chromosome. When? In case of egg cell formation as well as in case of sperm cell formation. It means, now let us suppose, if I am just telling you this line, you won't be able to relate. But because I had given you proper demonstration how it would happen, now you would be able to relate it, like how during the oogenesis, how during the spermatogenesis this is happening. Fine. Okay, now what kind of symptoms could be there? I mean, can we analyze about it? Can we specify that why it's happening? Symptoms can help in the early detection. I mean, quite possible, like there is a small child. On the basis of the phenotype, you can say that this is basically the male. As soon as the child is growing, child started showing some feminine characteristics, and those characteristics, they are in the behavior of the child. Now the family member, they are pointing him, they are giving him sarcasm and these and that, but still that person biologically won't be able to overpower that, because he have to inbuilt with those feminine characteristics due to the excess of one X chromosome. So in that case, we cannot do anything. Why? Because already that child has been grown up, and now we can't do anything. But there are some sort of test on the basis of that before the birth of the child, in terms of their fetus stage, we can determine that why this is happening. Okay, so how that could be? Usually what happened for that child, like how and in what way this thing is happening. So testicular biopsy, it usually shows poor developed tissues. So I'm going to show you, just wait for that. It is something in terms of a male reproductive organ. So the male reproductive organ, they are not in the required shape, or they are not completely developed in that way. So that's how it is being specified as the testicular biopsy. Fine. Another thing, a rare trait in these male is the presence of a Barr body. So there is some sort of Barr body which is present in these types of the male, and these Barr bodies, they usually be found in the females. Fine. So just wait for that. I'm going to help you understand what do we mean by the Barr body. Next, it can be diagnosed before birth. Yes. How? With the on the basis of some test. Which test? Amniocentesis or chorionic villus sampling. So based upon that, we can determine their karyotyping, and because we are determining their karyotyping, we can analyze the gender of that person. And if the gender is not that much clear, we can just give the reference that karyotype. What do we mean by karyotype? This is called as karyotype when you are analyzing the number. Fine. I hope you can understand about the Klinefelter syndrome till now. Fine. There are some terms which seems to be new to you, but just wait for that. Now here, first try to understand some basic part, then I will let you know all other things, how we can just analyze, how in terms of symptoms it would happen, these and that. Fine. Okay. Now people with this condition, they look like male. So this picture is determining, or this picture is showing you the case of Klinefelter syndrome. Phenotype is as a male. Now you must have heard about it, you must have noticed about it, that usually if a male body has to deposit some sort of fat, so So the fat would be deposited on their belly. Mostly it is being distributed to their belly. So usually male used to show their fat on their belly area. But if the female, they have to deposit the fat, so it is being deposited in their thighs, as well as it is being deposited near to their waist area. This is how we used to divide or distribute in terms of our mind the body type of the male as well as the female. I mean, there is a certain body type, like because you are doing some certain type of exercise or some certain type of training, quite possible your body built up in terms of your shoulder, in terms of your waist as well as your belly seems to be like a male. So those girls, they are being given some sarcasm based upon some slang language that these female are looking like male. You must have heard. So these are some sort of stereotypic based images that we have in our mind, and that's how this is basically the effect. Now here, try to understand. Phenotype seems to be like a male, but these male, they are having one extra X. Ideally for a male it should be XY, but because it's a Klinefelter syndrome, so one X is extra here, and that extra X is showing some feminine characteristics. How? The main difference in terms of a male and female is beard growth. So for a female, they are not having the beard growth, but here again, because they are having one extra X, so their beard growth is also poor. Fine. Now they have the tendency, like another difference that we used to have in terms of a male and female is about the breast area, is about the chest area. So usually the chest area for a female, it used to be less in terms of breadth, but it is high in terms of the raising. Why? Because there is a proper shape of their breast. There is upward movement. Now in case of these Klinefelter syndrome, that particular male, they are going to have the gynecomastia, means enlarged breast. So usually in the male, their breast area is not enlarged, but for such type of male, their breast area is going to be enlarged. So you can see some sort of curve there. Fine. Another thing, when coming towards the waist, so these types of male, they are going to have the waist fat distribution, usually showing some sort of feminine characteristics. They are also going to have some sort of fat on their thighs. Now, in terms of the reproductive organ, they are having pubic hair pattern which is similar to the female due to the extra X. But which thing not determining them as a female is the reproductive organ. So the reproductive organ for a Klinefelter syndrome person, they are going to be similar to the male, but their testes, they are not being developed as they can produce the semen and then the sperm. So the less or reduced growth of the testes is not categorize them as a male or as a female. It means they are not able to produce the semen, and because they are not able to produce the semen, therefore there is absence of the sperm cell, and this person, they are not reproductive. Fine, they are not fertile. So another effect is infertile. Now let's try to understand. There is underdeveloped testes, so their testes, they are underdeveloped, as well as their prostate gland, that is also not properly developed. They are considered as infertile. Why? Because they are not able to produce the semen. They are having enlarged breast. We have understood that, that is gynecomastia. So again, gynecomastia. They are having feminine traits in terms of, like female, usually this is one of the thing that I can just tell you. Female, even I have a habit of using hand movement, facial expression so much. That's something which is inbuilt. But if you will notice any male replicating the same, so that seems to be feminine. Why? Because we have categorized this, we have stereotyped this, That female, they used to show hand movement, face expression more and more. Another thing is they have slow growth, their intellectual development again is going to be impacted. So this is something that we have in terms of the Klinefelter syndrome. I hope you can understand. If you have any doubt, you can ask for. Fine. So that's how we have understood that these are some sort of syndrome, or these are some sort of effect for a Klinefelter syndrome person. Now, there were some symptoms. So symptoms have specified that if you have to diagnose before birth in one child, that if the child is not affected, like is there any case the child is affected with the like some sort of syndrome, or their chromosome is nice, or the chromosome is in the normal way or normal form. So this could be determined with the help of amniocentesis. So let's try to understand that. When the child is being preserved in the fetus, so the child is being preserved in the fetus in terms of a layer type structure. So one thing you know very well, that some sort of nutrition from the mother to the child, they are transferred with the help of what? With the help of this umbilical cord. So that umbilical cord is being connected with the navel of the child. Then this umbilical cord is connected with the placenta. Placenta is there, which is responsible for providing some sort of nutrition to the child. Fine. Now, not only this, like this thing in terms of a layer, if you can understand that this is nothing but it is being specified as the lining of the uterus. This lining of the uterus is around 16 mm thick, and that's why the gate is closed here. And because gate is closed here, therefore the child is being preserved for a long period of time. Now, the child is being preserved in some sort of layer. So there is chorion, and then after the chorion there is amnion. So amnion is the layer which is attached to the child, and this is being specified as a packet. So here, if you can see this, here if you can see this layer, this is amnion. This amnion layer is having amniotic fluid. This fluid is here to preserve the child as well as to maintain the oxygen as well as the other nutrition that's required for the development of the child. So this amnion fluid, this fluid is being taken, and with the help of this fluid, the karyotype means the gender determination system is being analyzed, and if we found that the gender, or in terms of chromosome number, seems to be 45, 46, 47, 48. So if these are the cases, then we used to, like if these are the cases 45, 47, 48, we used to suggest to abort the child because the child is going to be abnormal. There are some sort of ethical issues, like we should not do that, we should not abort the child, these and that. But another thing you need to understand in a very well manner, and that too, that the child, if we are not able to give birth to a normal child, then the life for an abnormal child is going to be difficult. So that's why ethically they should be aborted in terms of the kind of life system that we can provide. But here that is something that we should not talk about, and this is not that we need to be discussed here. Okay, hope you have understood what do we mean by this amniotic fluid and the usage of this fluid. Fine. Okay, now another thing that this is a kind of a prenatal test. So many of the parents now having this test, and based upon this test they are having some sort of analysis. Fine. Okay, so this is something in terms of a symptom we can analyze in terms of amniotic fluid. Now The very most, like, very important topic, and here also we need to pay some sort of attention. One more thing, let me tell you, every single syndrome, they are not that much comprehensive, that much lengthy. You don't need to even think that every single syndrome we have to spend 30 minutes. No, for the very first syndrome I have to spend 30 minutes. After that, everything is going to be on a repetitive basis, because tests are going to be similar for all. Barr body and the presence of Barr body is also going to be on the same line. Fine. Okay, now let's specify about it. Barr body. Okay, one thing you know very well, that the chromosome and the structure of the chromosome that I have explained you, I have specified to you, is that it is being specified in terms of a circle. Just for your reference, I am telling you, it is being specified in terms of a circle. Why? Because I am denoting with the nucleus. You know very well that this is the cell. Cell is having the nucleus. If I am zooming it out, so I am getting this type of structure. They are tightly packed, like they are tightly packed with each other. So therefore I can specify that this is how chromosomes, they are being packed inside this nucleus. Fine. Now, what do we mean by the word Barr body? One more thing you need to understand, that Barr body is something which is found in the female chromosome. I mean, for a female, what do we know? Female means they are having XX chromosome. Like, now again, do not consider the autosome into the into notice. Autosomes, they are different. Like autosome, they are different. Fine. Here I am only considering the chromosome that's dependent for the generation of the gender determination. Okay, now here Barr body is a kind of chromosome. Okay, one more thing, this topic Barr body is going to be technical. So first I will make you like I will only communicate the basic details about the Barr body. So hold for that. Then I am going to give you the basic example so that you would be able to understand. Fine. Okay, now here Barr body is nothing but it is inactivated X chromosome. And where this inactivated X chromosome is found? It is found where? In the female nucleus. Okay, so let me just write down first. This reference I hope you must have understood. So let us suppose this is the chromosome. So Barr body is inactivated X chromosome found in the nucleus of female cell. Okay, so this is how Barr body is found. Now, inactivated means what? Inactivated means it is there, but it is not active, not specifying, not showing their role. Here in this way, how it would happen? In the nucleus, you have understood this thing that chromosomes, they are tightly packed. It means there are 23 pair, means 46 chromosomes, they are tightly packed in this nucleus. Now this tightly packed nucleus, they are, if you will put some color and there is going to some stain, the chromosomes, they are clearly visible. But Barr body, or that part of the X chromosome or one of the X chromosome, this is something which is not clearly visible even after the stain. Therefore, this is being shown like this. Could you see? Earlier it was a circle, but let us suppose one part of the circle is having a dark spot, and because the background is dark, therefore that part of the circle is not visible. In the same way, Barr body is that part of the nucleus of the female cell which is not visible, which is not clearly evident, and which is not showing you this type of structure. Hope you can understand it. So this type of Barr body and this inactivated X chromosome, it is also called as sex chromatin. Also called as sex chromatin. Okay, and it is being there in terms of the expression of the X-linked gene. So it's there in terms of expression of the X-linked gene. Now, where it is being found? It is found in the female cell. So it means Barr body could be like, where Barr body could be there. So Barr body, it usually there in case of the female cell or female gamete. So that's how it is being specified. Fine. So this is about the Barr body. Now, how we can specify the Barr body? Okay, just you are going to tell me. Just have the basic understanding and just tell me. For the Turner syndrome, the number was specified as this, X0. Tell me, is there any chance for the Barr body to be there in case of Turner syndrome? Just tell me the answer for this question. Is there any chance for the Turner syndrome, like the Barr body could be there? Yes or no? Why, Navya? Why? Why it can't be there? Very good. It's not all about 45 chromosome, but it's also because if this would also be inactive, let us suppose it would become inactive. Let us suppose, is there any chance this person would get birth? No. At least we required one X chromosome to take the birth. If this is absent in case of Turner syndrome and this is inactive, would this person would be able to get the birth? Not at all. Now, tell me another one. Klinefelter syndrome. Tell me, is there any chance of Barr body here? Is there any chance of Barr body here? But that's very good, Navya. You have given the right answer. Okay. How? You are saying yes. I'm just asking how. Very good. If one X is inactivated, again there is going to be no issue. But still, that person would show feminine characters. I mean, even Barr body cannot just avoid the chances of getting infertile or chances of getting feminine characteristics. Hope you are getting my point. Okay. So this is something that we have or we know related to this. Tell me about the super female syndrome, XXX. For a super female syndrome, again there are chances that one X may be inactivated. So there are high chances for that. Fine. Okay. Now this is something that's related to the Barr body. Now let's try to understand the Barr body related to the basic example. So what do we mean by the Barr body? Barr body is something which is inactivated. So just understand, just try to understand. Let us suppose now I'm taking your class for Physical Anthropology, topic unit 9.4. Let us suppose now during the class 2 teachers are available there. Fine. So let us suppose 2 teachers, they are available there and they are taking the class. Now 2 teachers at one time, they cannot take the class. Let us suppose here I am speaking something, another teacher is standing here, they are also speaking something. Students, they won't be able to understand anything. There is going to be chaos. So therefore, even if 2 teachers, they are here and they are taking the class, still one teacher is going to speak, another teacher is going to sit on the chair in one corner and being quiet. It means what? It means that inactive teacher is no one but the Barr body, which is present but not active. Why it would happen? It would happen because we feel something is extra. Let us suppose the teacher which is taking the lecture is not that much good as the teacher which is sitting on the chair. But because that teacher sitting on the chair seems to be as extra, so that's being instructed to keep quiet. So from this perspective, you can understand that Barr body, they are being specified as some sort of chromosomes which are somehow inactive because they are not very much sure about their usage. Fine. Okay. Then there is another part or another thing in terms of a normal male. Now let's talk about X and Y. I'm just comparing X and X. Here both are teachers, so one teacher could be inactive, still the class may run. Here X is the teacher, Y is the assistant. Both are having different role. So therefore in this case no Barr body would be there. Why? Because if let us suppose X is going to be mute itself as a part of the Barr body, then Y alone cannot help to take birth in this case. Again the child would be aborted. Hope you are getting my point and you are not getting confused. If you are getting confused, let me know. I would be explaining it again. But just let me know about it. Then, okay, so this is something related to the Barr body. So here just compare X is the teacher, Y is the assistant professor or the assistant. So let us suppose the teacher would be speaking and assistant would be doing the other administrative works and all. So this is how it is being specified. Understood? Very well. Fine. So this is something related to the Barr body. So if with the help of the analysis of the Barr body we can understand that one is inactive, we can specify that this could be cause of some sort of like we can analyze that this is something specifying about defining the syndrome and all other part. Fine. So that's how we are done with the Klinefelter syndrome, and I hope you have also understood about it. Still, if you have any doubt, you can just fill up the Google form that's available in the description box, and the team is going to connect you with me. So you will be talking with me. So and there is a number that's available in the description box, so you can also connect with me through that as well. Fine. Okay. In terms of this PPT, you can get this PPT from the Telegram channel of the Anthropology Official Sunya. So there you can get the information about the PDFs as well as the further classes that we are going to take up. Fine. Okay. Now let's talk about another one, and this is how specified as in terms of Turner syndrome. So Turner syndrome, you know very well that how and in what case Turner syndrome is happening. So the Turner syndrome is there in case of the oogenesis, like non-disjunction for the oogenesis when it was happening. So they were specifying that it is being determined by whom? It is being determined by Dr. Turner. Fine. So they have specified about this. So they said that non-disjunction of X chromosome during what? During the egg development, and this syndrome, it occur in 1 out of 5,000 to 10,000 live birth. So when it would happen? It would happen when there is 1 out of 5,000 to 10,000 live birth they are happening. In that case, there may be chances that one case could be the Turner syndrome. Usually what it happen when the female is aged and then giving the birth to the child, so then it could be one of the case. And if the female is having cyst or another issues related to the uterus as well as the egg formation or related to the ovaries, so if these are also the cases, that could be one of the effects. Fine. Now how it could be diagnosed? So physical symptoms that may be determined based upon that. Another thing is there is absence of Barr body. We have specified earlier as well. In case of Turner syndrome, there is going to be absence of Barr body. Means one X is not only inactive but is absent. Fine. Another one could be the fingerprint pattern. So the fingerprint pattern is not going to be clear. Like we have a fingerprint pattern. You can see that there is this type of structure. Let us suppose if this is your finger. So this type of structure is there in your finger. This is the fingerprint pattern. But based upon this, like in case of Turner syndrome, those person, they may be having less fingerprint pattern. So one fact I just want to tell you, that even like for with your twin, complete genetic material is there. So therefore even for the twin, their DNA material is going to be 100% same, but their fingerprint, that's going to be different. Why? Because your fingerprints, the occurrence of the fingerprints, it depends upon the tightness of your palm when you were in the womb. So the person who's having the Turner syndrome, they are not having that locomotor development. Therefore during the womb, they are not able to just tight their palm, and therefore the pattern for the the kind of fingerprint pattern is not being developed to that extent. Another thing is it is also detected prenatally. How we know that there is amniotic fluid? So if we would be testing that, based upon that we can get the karyotyping and then we can reveal about it. Okay. Yeah, only in case of monozygotic twins, that's good. So usually dizygotic twins, they are like the brother and sister. Just wait for that. In the unit 10 I am going to teach you that as well. What do we mean by monozygotic and dizygotic? All those person who don't know about these terms, kindly don't worry about it. The unit 10 is all about that. Fine. So we are done with all these parts. Now individuals, they appear like female. Okay, there is no chance for a Turner syndrome occur in a male. Reason? Because it is being signified with the help of X0. So Y0, there is no chances of that. And XY going to be male. So therefore X0 could be there. So it means phenotype. Phenotype means structure is going to be like a female. Now the female would be having short height. And there, like again, it's a sex chromosome. So, and there is aberration in the sex chromosome. Therefore, in terms of a result, it's going to be 100% infertility. And as I told you, there is no argument, nothing. Now, another thing they used to have is webbed neck. Now, just try to understand. Our neck is in terms of a structure, like it is like this. Webbed neck is being like this. Just wait for a while. See, this is how the Mongolian structure used to have in case of Turner syndrome. Symptoms means physically you can just diagnose, you can just analyze that this person is having the Turner syndrome. Now the Turner syndrome is being specified in terms of a webbed neck. Again I told you that there is going to be mental retardedness as well as some locomotor disability. So therefore the person is not going to do their work as specifically as they can. So in this case, the child is going to have the webbed neck. So here you can see, this is the webbed neck. Usually here, could you understand that it should be like this? Neck should be like this. This part is being specified as the webbed part. You must have seen the webbed foot. So that used to be there for the aquatic animals. In that way, that webbed neck used to be there in Turner syndrome. Fine. Again, they have mental and physical growth, and because mental and physical growth is not that much and it's not normal, mental retardedness is there. So estrogen, progesterone, they are not there. These hormones, they are in the imbalanced way. Therefore, the particular like girl is going to be having difficulty in terms of other work, like their body is not functioning properly. So therefore their kidney, like they may have the heart disease, they have some abnormalities of the kidney, their knee deformities could be there, they may be having some this type of brown spot on their legs. So this type of things used to be there. I hope you can understand. Fine. So this is the case for the Turner syndrome, and based upon this structure you can understand the basic. Now taking up to the next part, that is the C, called as the super female syndrome. Super female, or also called as the meta female or triple X. You know very well that how the triple X is being analyzed. So this triple X is found in around 1 in every 1200 female birth, and it is caused by the non-disjunction of X chromosome during the formation of the egg. Okay. Now how you can diagnose? Again, super female could be diagnosed with the help of the physical symptoms. Like based upon the physical symptoms you can determine there is hormonal imbalance, like there is a proper function of estrogen and progesterone. Unit 11, which is talking about the menarche and the menopause, is explaining about this estrogen and progesterone only. Here you need to understand that women, they are producing, basically the female, they are producing one egg, like they are having 2 ovaries, so they can produce 2 eggs. But because of the level of the estrogen and progesterone, they can only produce 1 egg during 1 month, and every single month that egg is being shed away by the uterus lining, and that is being excreted in terms of a blood stain. This is a basic process. But in the menarche and the menopause chapter or unit, that is the unit 11, we would be understanding about other aspect, like what are the factors that affecting it and how it would be proceeding, all other things. Here also you need to understand, it means in terms of the egg formation, in terms of the shedding of the egg, this is the level of the progesterone and estrogen. Even when the child when the female used to conceive the child, then also it is the level of estrogen and progesterone. Here you need to understand that this hormonal imbalance would be there in case of super female, and therefore they are not going to be fertile for sure. Here what happened, because they are having 2 extra, like 1 extra X, so sometime what happen, 1 X would be there, and these 2 X, they are specified in terms of a Barr body. It means they may have more than 1 Barr body, sometimes 2 Barr bodies would be there. So another thing is prenatal detection could be there, and you know very well how it would be determined. Now let's try to understand how it would happen. Like female, in terms of the outer appearance, is going to be same, but the female is not going to have the menstrual cycle. Why? Because egg formation is going to be somehow absent, somehow irregular, somehow not to that extent how it used to be there in a normal female. So here you can understand that it is poorly developed. They are having secondary sexual feature, they are infertile, they are having mild to moderate mental retardedness. So these are some sort of cases in case of female super female syndrome. Okay, so next one is 4th one, super male syndrome or Jacob syndrome. It used to be there in case of XYY. So this condition is also called as the Jacob syndrome. Fine. So it is caused by what? Non-disjunction of Y chromosome. And how we are determining it? Based upon the karyotype analysis. So karyotype analysis used to be there, and based upon that we used to specify about it. Fine. So research shows that there are high chances that such type of incidents used to be found in case of juvenile offenders as well as in case of the prison inmates. So this is how it is being determined. Fine. What could be the common sign for that? That person is going to have the tall height, but their body structure is going to be very lean. Their motor skill and their speech, they are also going to be delay. They will have some learning problem. Means somehow, like, for sure is going to be infertile. But other than the infertility, these are some sort of behavioral issues they have. The child may be autistic. So that's one of the part of the Down syndrome. So it could be there. Hope you can understand it well. Now, next part is being specified as autosomal aberration. Next part is being specified as autosomal aberration. Fine. Okay, so autosomal aberration, they are chromosomal abnormalities. What would happen in case of autosome? So we are done with the sex chromosome. Now we are heading towards the autosomal aberrations. So one topic we have left here, I just want to show you so that you will get the clarity. Intersex and other syndrome disorder. So first we would be doing all these autosomal aberrations. So in the next class we would be explaining about intersex and other syndrome for the chromosome. Like there are ring chromosome, isochrome chromosomes. So these types of, in terms of value addition, I would be taking up this part in the next lecture. But here let me explain you autosomal aberration. Fine. One more thing, that in terms of a full-fledged diagram, I am also going to tell you in the next class. Okay, because in terms of the explanation, now we also require some sort of explanation. Okay, in terms of this PPT, I would be giving you this PPT. You can download it from the Telegram channel of Anthropology at Sunya IAS. Okay, now autosome, we are having 1 to 22 autosome. So it means autosome starting from 1, 2, 3 and then 22nd. Fine. So that's how we are specifying about the autosomes. Okay, now let's talk about it. In case of Turner syndrome, when I show you the picture, you can analyze that Turner syndrome is specifying that there is some sort of pattern of the female in terms of their bodily structure, and that structure somehow is similar to the person of the Mongolia. So this is also being specified as Mongolism, as you can understand. And here what happen is there is trisomy. Trisomy means what? Trisomy, it means at one place. Means just here try to understand. Starting from the first chromosome, then second, then 22nd, here 21st, here 20. Okay, that's how we are having the chromosome. Now 22nd chromosome, 21st chromosome. Now what happened is exactly here at 21st chromosome place, one another chromosome is being added. Now because this another chromosome is being added here, this chromosome is making them what? 3 similar chromosome. That's why it is called as what? Trisomy. What would happen? At 21st number, one more chromosome is being added. At 21st number, one chromosome is added. And if this happened at the 21st place, one new chromosome is being added, then it would be specified as what? It would be specified as Down syndrome, or called as trisomy or Mongolism. So this syndrome is being organized by Langdon Down, and it is being specified that Down syndrome is having how many chromosomes? You are going to tell me. So it would be having 47 chromosomes. Why? Because 46 normally, and at 21st number of chromosome there is one more addition. So again, why it would happen? The reason for that, because the cell, as they need to separate, so 21st chromosome not able to separate itself, therefore there is a duplication. Fine. So here, why and why it happens and how it would happen? Why it would happen? The reason behind that is the age of the mother when she is getting the pregnant. So if the mother is getting pregnant at a very high age, like usually this risk it increases if the mother age is she is getting pregnant after 30 years, and because of that it happens. I mean, we cannot just clearly tell you the reason why it's happening, but this is what it would be explained, this is what it would be specified. Fine. Now how you can analyze? So this could be analyzed with the same test as I told you when you would be analyzing the amniotic fluid. So based upon the amniotic fluid you can specify. The chromosomal profile, it shows that there are 47 chromosomes, and at 21st number new one is added. Here, what are the basic physical features? So could you analyze? All these persons, they are having the Down syndrome. You can analyze like this person is different, this person is different, but based upon their facial feature you can analyze some sort of in terms of a basic structure you can analyze some sort of similarity. That's why it is called as Mongolism. Now let's try to understand their feature. So they are going to have a short height. Usually from this picture itself you can analyze that these person, they must be having short height. These person, due to the therapies, they can analyze the normal human behavior, but again Down syndrome is hampering you somehow in terms of a normal behavior. Another thing, here you can find out that they would be having a broad neck. Here also could you understand that this is short in a size but it is broad. They are also having short, like here you can clearly, this is clearly evident here, that's having a double chin but the neck area is completely broad. Short arm and leg, their like limbs, their hand, their feet, they are going to be very short. Could you see? So small in size. So that's how their hands and their legs, they are being specified. Their ear and their teeth, they are also going to be uneven. They will have some sort of intellectual disability. They will have some heart defect. They will have some dental issues and behavioral disorder as well. Why? Because it is linked to the autism. Autism is a kind of behavioral situation, I would say. I won't say it's a kind of a disability. It's a kind of behavioral situation where you cannot behave ideally as human being they are supposed to be. I mean, we as a human being, we need to respond, we need to analyze, we need to argue, we need to brainstorm. But for autistic person, their brain is not working at the same pace at it is supposed to be as a human. So that's the only a behavioral situation. I won't say it's a kind of a disability. Fine. Now, this is somehow you can understand. Let's talk about the next one, that's basically the Patau syndrome. And when the Patau syndrome, okay, one more thing, this is something specific this time, So Down syndrome would be there. If, okay, number is going to raise as 47, that's for sure. For Patau as well, it's again going to be 47. But Patau syndrome would be there when there is addition in the 13th number chromosome. So as in the previous case, what happened is the 21st number chromosome, one more chromosome is added into it. But here in Patau syndrome, the 13th number chromosome, again it is being added. So this syndrome is being described by the Patau. And why it would happen? Because 13th number chromosome is having one more addition. Common symptoms which include under this, again, that person is going to have some mental as well as physical development delay. What are the kind of thing that person would have? That person may have cleft lip and palate. How? Just let me show you, because it's an autosomal aberration. Therefore, the person would be having some sort of inefficiency or lacking of any physical part of the body. So let me show you how that cleft lip and palate would happen. Here you can see. This is the cleft palate and this is the cleft lip and cleft palate. So here you can see, like for example, if you will like have your mouth on upside, and if you will try to touch, that palate is completely covered. But in case of these Patau syndrome, there is going to be one cut, and this cut from here, it's normal. But if you will ask this child to open their mouth, you can see that their palate is basically, there's a cut in their palate. It's difficult for this child to do some certain thing. So this is not that much based upon the concern. Why? Because in this case, surgically we can remove it. I will show that. But here in cleft lip, what would happen? The child is having that cleft palate as well. But the cut is that much deep, it is here also covering the lip part. Fine. But surgically we can remove it. Like see, this person is having the cleft palate. One more thing, tell me, if in case any person taking birth is having a cleft palate or cleft lip, that person is going to be infertile, yes or no? Just tell me. That person is going to be infertile or not? Just tell me, this person is going to be infertile or not? Why? If your answer is no, then why? See, surgically we have removed that cleft palate as well as the cleft lip. Okay, if no, then why? Very good. It's autosomal anomaly. Very good. Okay, so this is one of the part. Another is, you may have a sloping forehead. So your forehead is not going to be this flat, it's going to be something as a having a slope. Extra finger would be there. So you must have noticed the Hrithik Roshan. He is also having extra finger, polydactyl. So okay, so one more thing, not every single person would have the same symptoms. Different person have different symptoms. Intensity may be high, intensity may be low, depends upon that. But again, that person is not going to be infertile. Here you can see, there may be extra finger here, there may be extra finger here, there may be again extra finger like this. It used to be happen in case of the Patau syndrome. So that person may be having abnormal fingerprint. They may have some eye issues. Eye issues means not able to focus. Maybe having the heart defect, kidney defect. So these types of things used to be there, and we can analyze it based upon some type of karyotype analysis. Fine. Very good. Okay. Now moving forward to the next part, that is Edward syndrome. This time you need to remember with the name. Again I'm repeating, Down syndrome 21st number of chromosome, addition in 21st, Patau in 13, Edward in 18th. So what would happen in case of Edward syndrome? Edward and team, they were the first to report this condition. So it occurred in about 1 in 2200 live birth. So 95% of affected fetus, they are lost before the birth. How and in what way it could be? Like most of the babies having the Edward syndrome, they used to survive, but only till the 10 years. So they do not live beyond the 10 year. Why? Because it used to show some sort of skin disease, some sort of other deformities. So that's why. How we can analyze it? Based upon this test only. So I had repeated it multiple times, no need to repeat it again. So this is how we are having the Edward syndrome. Fine. What are the symptoms used to be there? The reason why the child having the Edward syndrome not able to live that much is because of this syndrome. What is it? It is called as a spina bifida. What used to happen there is, okay, this child may have the cleft lip, palate, may have the small jaw with a triangular mouth, may have such kind of thing. But what is the most important thing that we used to be there in this case? So what exactly happened is, there is some sort of damaged nerves fluid deposited at the back part. Here you could see this one. Imagine a child having this way or this structure. It would be so much difficult for that child to survive. As soon as that child is getting aged, the size of this tumor is also going to be raised. Why? Because nerves and fluid that's being deposited here. Surgically also we cannot remove it. Reason? Because here, could you see spine, and the spine fluid or the spine nerves are being deposited here. So therefore, surgically if you just want to cut it, you won't be able to do that because spinal nerves, they are attached. Now we have reached to that bar that we can even think about it, but still it is some sort of defect which is there, and it's a kind of a neural defect. So it's going to be difficult for the child to survive. Therefore, in case of Edward syndrome, child is not able to survive beyond the 10-year of age. Fine. Now next one, as well as the last one, specified as the cry-do-chat syndrome or cat's cry syndrome, also called as monosomy. What is the reason behind it? Why it is being specified as the monosomy? Because in this case, there is absence of one chromosome in the 5th number of chromosome. So you can remember cry, when we used to cry when we are not having something that we require. So that's how you will remember it. So in case of cry-do-chat syndrome, the 5th number of chromosome, there is one single chromosome. That's how it is not specified as trisomy, specified as monosomy. Okay, now this condition identified as Lejeune and colleague. It's a complete loss of any chromosome called as the monosomy, and it leads to miscarriage. But cry-do-chat is due to partial loss of the short arm of chromosome. That's how sometime it happened. I mean, one short arm of your chromosome is being not here, and somehow it used to be specified as a part of the structural aberration. Fine. So here, how we can diagnose it? So the diagnose with the help of the amniotic fluid. So we can just test that, can take the sample and can analyze with the help of karyotypic analysis. Fine. So now, what are the kind of common symptoms which used to be there? So again, the child is also going to have some sort of deformities, and these deformities, they are based upon their like head size and all other. So that common symptoms which includes is the child is having a small head, microcephalic, they are having a slow growth, and their developmental delay, it was not that much. So they are having low birth weight, weak muscles. So let me show you how it would happen. This is the ideal size of the head of a person, but because it's a microcephaly, cephalic means the head, micro means small. So the head size is used to be small. Here you can see that this is the typical head size, but the typical head size is reduced, and here in this way the head size is being determined. It means again that person is going to have some sort of neural disorder. Why? Because the brain used to connect with the nerves, and the brain used to give direction to the nerves, and if brain is not having the proper spacing, so again that person is going to have mental retardedness. So the child with such type of microcephalic, they are taking the birth, and this is how the childs they look like. Here you can also see the kind of eye area. They are not able to focus clearly. Another situation of the microcephaly used to be there when the pregnant women, they caught the Zika virus. So the Zika virus, like in terms of a Zika fever, if a pregnant woman is having the Zika fever, and because of that the child in the womb used to have the microcephaly. That's another reason for that. Kindly do not connect with the cat's cry. So cat's cry syndrome, it used to be there in terms of chromosomal aberration, and this is what you can understand. Fine. So I hope you can understand it well, and this is how the basic phenomena is being specified. Fine. So that's how we are cover up with the autosomal aberrations as well. So in that way we have specified about the sex chromosomal aberration as well as the autosomal aberration. Fine. Till now, if you have any doubt, you can ask for. I'm giving you a 30-second time. So if you have any doubt, just write down yes. I would be waiting for you to type your doubt. If not, then we can just wrap up the class now. It seems that card med you have covered like you have a decent knowledge about all these aspects. Are you preparing for the very first time? And that's very good. Okay, now let me give you a basic brief that we are starting our Anthropology Foundation in offline as well as in online mode, and that's to starting from the 10th June. So if you want to inquire, you can just fill the Google form as well as call at okay, so you can just get the details about it. Okay, it seems to be that you are having the interest for the biology subject. That's very good. Okay, so there are so many topics as well that like one more thing I just want you to just internalize about all this thing. In the next class I would be giving you a full-fledged diagram which would be including about the monosomy, the trisomy, nucleoidy, all other parts. Why? Because in the first class we have understood what do we mean by the ploid. So I will be combining everything at one place, and then you will be getting the details. Another part in terms of the numerical aberration. Numerical aberration means in terms of number. Here all the type of chromosome that we did in terms of sex chromosome or in terms of autosomal chromosome, they are doing some sort of changes in terms of number itself. I mean somehow 46 they are turning into 47, into 45, into 48. So that's a kind of chromosomal changes that we are noticing. Fine. So that's how you can understand. Okay, so stay tuned for the next class. So you will be notified about the next class through the Telegram group channel, so that we are having the Sunya IAS Anthropology channel at Telegram, where you can get the PDF as well as the basic details about the course. So if you want to enroll for this course, so you can enroll by just filling up the Google form, as well as you can call and you can get the basic details about this. Fine. So thank you so much.